Let's, bro. There was some big news this week. We have to start with we have to start with Njerae. She it was announced that she is signing with UMG East Africa.
UMG yeah. What's going on? What's up? Welcome to the 30% podcast. This is episode 92. I am Sam. I'm here with Afam, my co-host. All the way in wherever he is. Afam, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Doing fine.
How's the weather over there? Because, bro, Kenya is not. It's not as they say. It's not
outside.
giving.
Let me look outside the window. It's currently sunny. Sunny, a few clouds. Not too hot, so it's not bad actually.
Why does this sound like an ad? It sounds like an ad for something. But yeah, no, Kenya is terribly cold over here, man. Like today was incredible lows. We pray for warmer days. But yeah, what have you been up to? Oh, sorry. Before you get into what, look at me. I'm just rushing through this thing. Dang. Shout out to everybody who's listening to the podcast. Of course, you can find us wherever you listen to your podcast and also on YouTube. Tap in with us if you like the content, if you feel like someone could benefit from what we talk about, the Kenyan music industry and everything most things that pertain to it. Share it with people. Let's get conversations started. That's why we started this thing. What have you been up to, man?
Yeah, man, I haven't been up to much, to be honest. Well, actually, yeah, I've been. What's something I did that was interesting this week? Oh yeah, I went for some music. Well, it was not just music; it was music / actors / small business owners / video directors. Who were in attendance, and it was a networking event.
Yeah.
At some place called the Sentry, Flatiron. Yeah, it was in a rooftop, and yeah, so I went for that on Friday, and very, very overwhelming because the moment I stepped out of the elevator,
Yeah.
it was packed. There was so
A
many
sea of people.
Yeah, and bro, as an introvert, man, like it drained me
Yikes.
immensely.
Was there dress code?
So yeah, no, there's no dress code. There was no like there was nothing other than just networking. So just everyone in groups talking about themselves and what they do, and just making conversation based off of that.
Yeah.
Trading business cards and that sort of thing. So I did get to talk to a bunch of interesting people, a bunch of actors. I ended up learning a lot about the acting world and what it takes to make it over here. Talked to a few people who have worked like as, what do they call them? Like extras or background roles in like shows like what was the show Law and Order and
Dang, that's an
all
old
this type of things.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's a good one here. Like usually that's like the starter like thing. So because most of the people who are out there like are really starting out and trying to, like increase their,
Yeah.
or just, improve their catalog of like things that they've worked on. So yeah, so talking about all that type of stuff, acting agencies and what it takes to be an actor, I guess. Yeah, so I did meet some people in the music industry. So that was cool. I think that I'm saying a lot. Said
Just
it
said it
again.
again.
There is a lot to networking in the industry
Yeah.
because basically that's just the way you get
That's how you
ahead.
move, right? Yeah.
It's mostly through networking. So just been looking for a bunch of networking opportunities to attend. I should be attending a few more this week. Actually, there's two more of them that I want to do this week.
Wow.
So that should be good. Aside from that, yeah, been working on music. So there is an opportunity that I got during the weeks. So hopefully I can capitalize on it.
Yeah.
It's music industry related, so can't really talk too much about it. Well, not music industry, but like it's more like music production type thing. So we'll see how that goes. Super excited about that. How about yourself, bro? What did you get up to?
That's cool. It sounds like a lot of linking and building. What did I do this week? This week was full of work, man. I was working. We have a long ways to go. Of course, there was the release during the week, which was cool. So I was just planning a lot for that. Well, planning for that and trying to ensure that at least when it drops, there's a little bit of traction, which is cool. So that was fun. Got to go for a show. Shout out to M.Rumbi. He facilitated the attending of that show. That was really cool. It was an interesting show. First off, I almost barely didn't make it. I don't know if I should say that. I was chilling at home, just trying to stay warm, and then I checked my calendar and I realized, oh snap, I'm supposed to be somewhere. And I committed a long time ago. Genuinely, I wanted to attend because I think M.Rumbi is a very good musician. But I was like, oh dang! So I jumped into some clothes and found my way. I was on the road late. I was like, oh snap, I hope I don't miss it. But you know how Kenyan shows are. Usually if you go late, it doesn't really matter because the show started late. But I got there. I want to say I got there maybe 9ish. And the performer he was M.Rumbi was currently he was doing a set there. So I got to get a little bit of that, and then he came, he dropped down, who came after him? Now I have to remember the sequence of everything. So he was on the show and then he dropped. I mean, he finished his set, or the first set he was doing. And I think, if I'm not wrong, what's her name? The one who sings, is what she goes by on Instagram. Njerae, a fantastic vocalist. She came, she did some music, finished a set. That was really cool. People vibed to that. And then Martin Gessa, who's really brilliant. I'm always there for a Martin Gessa performance. He was on Colors the other day, and he's just really good, and he's very interactive with the crowd. So that was really cool. And he was just like an artist too, which was interesting. So a lot of people are commenting about, oh dang, this guy's just pretty fly, just cool. You have to look fly. You have to look the part when you're.
Oh, what was he dressed in?
I don't know. How do I describe it? I think there was some silk somewhere. It was turquoise. It was interesting. It was a very interesting getup. I'm pretty sure you can find it on Instagram. And if I've gotten the color wrong, my apologies, I guess. I don't know. So he did that. He did his set, performed a couple of songs. That was pretty cool. And then, and I think M.Rumbi after Matt's set, M.Rumbi came back on and performed music from, I guess, his upcoming project, which was cool. And then he performed with I want to say Njerae. No, I don't want to say. He performed. Njerae was there. there was another lady. I can't find her anywhere. I can't find her name, and I didn't get her name. But she was also really good. She did a song, and then
Yeah.
another artist called Zalalai, she was really cool. Like she performed a really cool song at the end, and it was energy. It was crazy. Like she's a brilliant musician, and I just realized that made me realize, fam. There's just I think when we stay focused on pop music and what's happening in the popular scene, we miss out on so much music. So
Yeah.
much music, because there's so many talented artists. Like I was sitting there, I was like, I've never heard of this artist. But then I talked to a couple of people who knew, and they're like, oh bro, she's been around for a minute. Like she's been around for a long time. So yeah, really cool vocals. It was dope. It was very cool. The atmosphere was chill. It was Moov Cafe, Moov Cafe and Bistro. We were there. I think that's where I think we had covered Kinote's show back then, and we were there, and it was super cool. It was super cool.
Yeah.
There was energy in the room. I met a couple of people I haven't seen in years. That was fun. Shout out to all the other people. I left before. I really wanted to catch DJ Celo's set, but it was getting like super late. She came on late, and I needed to get home. So I stayed for like a little bit, and it was cool, man. People were still bubbling. It was great. I got to meet her. She's a cool individual, very cool individual, very very passionate about DJing. Like we had very deep DJ talks, which is interesting. You never know when you have deep DJ talks. But yeah, that was dope. And then all the other people we met there. I met there, not we. I met there. Well, I met them, for the both of us. And yeah, that was super fun, man. It was super fun. Very cool show. I'm really interested in going for more shows, man, and just seeing what happens on the ground. Yeah, that was dope, man.
Let's
You missed
go,
you missed it.
man.
You missed out.
Yeah.
You missed out, bro. I'm gonna tell you that. You missed out.
Yeah, I'm feeling the FOMO from all the way over here, but
It's all right, man. You're going for shows too.
Shout out to M.Rumbi for graciously like extending that invite to us. I wish I could have been there, but couldn't have. So yeah, man.
That's dope. Let's get into some.
Bro. There was some big news this week. We have to start with Njerae. It was announced that she is signing with UMG East Africa.
UMG EA, yeah.
So I saw this and I was just so so impressed, especially because we've seen Njerae's like trajectory up till now. So just kind of reading the press release, they're saying the parties say that the deal is expected to open new opportunities for the artist, with Njerae pointing out that the agreement would provide resources and expertise that will help me create much better music and grow my fan base. Speaking about the development, UMG East Africa General Manager Chinasa Udela said, Njerae is a special artist. She is the voice of the emerging music culture in East Africa. Listening to her style of music, she transcends not just East Africa, but internationally in the way it addresses everyday needs and speaks to core life experiences, regardless of people's age, generation, or class. We are glad to have her join our robust team. We expect Kenyan music to be on the map with Njerae on the UMG East Africa roster. Sam, how do you feel about this announcement?
That's cool. I mean, I think it's a career milestone for her. So it's always cool when an artist hits that. It's really cool, especially when we've seen an artist sort of start where she started. I think she had started with in the Saudi, I think it's called the Saudi Academy, where a lot of Kenyan musicians, I think, get their starts or some sort of like headway into the music industry through there. So I think it's the Saudi Academy. I don't want to get it wrong, but I think that's what it is. And then getting into live performances and then starting like to produce music and just creating anthems such as OTD, her previous EP that she dropped, which did pretty pretty well. Let me get the name of it right. Unintentional, I think it was called. Yes, Unintentional, which had really good songs. And then the EP she released out with the old recently, and then just what she's up to. So it's really cool. It's really cool seeing her progress. I'm very excited for what UMG. I mean, it's a major label, right? Or rather, UMG is sort of like a subsidiary, whatever it is, but it's connected to that major label. So there is definitely some incentive to make her a lot. I mean, make her more. I don't know how would we gauge that? Is it more successful? Give her more exposure. I don't know what it will, but then to progress her. Let's just put it that way, to progress her. So I'm happy about that, man. I'm cool. It's for me, if I'm being honest. So part of me is very excited for her, but then we know that UMG, and this is not to rain on her parade or anything. Like, again, super excited for her and everything, but then it's just I'm slightly cautious because we know the sort of reputation that UMG has had in the past with a lot of our the Kenyan acts that we've seen signed to them. So that's kind of like caution. I do know that it's probably, it looks like it's under different management. So maybe that's not a concern currently. But then we've seen artists signed to UMG and then just not go very, very positively. So I really, really, really hope that this is a positive story for her, and it's a career booster, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, we talked about the UMG.
Yeah.
We talked about the benefits and the, I guess, shortcomings of being signed to a label in a recent episode. I'm trying to look for the. Oh my god, we've done so many podcasts. It's the one with
91.
Nikita carrying. It's which one?
No, I'm saying we've done 91 to be exact.
Well, this is 92,
yeah,
so
92.
Technically. It's the one we had with Nikita carrying as the cover. I want to say it was episode. Was it in the 70s? No way, it was in the 70s.
Some elevator music. We should put some elevator music under this.
It was episode 63.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, that's a while ago. And that episode is called Pros and Cons. So if you're interested in listening to the pros and cons of being signed to a label, you could listen to that episode. And essentially was sparked by Nikita carrying announcing her exit from UMG. Now, I do think the team at UMG has significantly changed since Nikita's like stay at the label.
Yeah.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Chinasa is relatively new to his role that he currently holds. And looking at that picture, I can see Alfayo, who we've actually had on the podcast. I think he's also new to the team. So all I'm trying to say is I think there is a new team kind of guiding things at UMG. So there's optimism that the way they handle this new class of artists who they choose to sign will be different to what we've seen happen to Nikita and before that Sauti Soul, as well as also the Ethics. So I think I look at this with optimism. I can't wait to hear the first song she releases. Now we can anticipate budget with her releases, marketing, music videos, collaborations, production, just so much.
An elevated
there's
level.
So much. There's so much value to be had from being at a label if it's done right.
Yeah.
So, I think to Njerae, all I would say is, I think the mentality needs to be the same. The output needs to be even greater, because now you have less, I don't want to say less control, but like, you just need to be on your shit just to make sure like the music is coming out at a similar rate as it has been. And I think she'll be fine. Looking at her numbers, she has really good numbers, by the way.
She has good numbers.
This is all independent. So now
she
that
has
she's
momentum
with UMG. Huh?
I'm saying she has good numbers and she has momentum.
And she has momentum, yeah. So I think I'm excited. It's dope. I wonder what type of deal this is, though.
They're never going to say. They never tell us what the deal is. They never tell us what type of deal it is, and that's what we're like super interested in and how that works.
There's just there's so much. But I guess it's also
It's part of the music
it's
industry,
not
right?
it's private
I'm not going to tell
or
you.
confidential.
Yeah.
But we want to know if it's all encompassing, if it's distro publishing,
Yeah.
if there's some form of management there. Is it
Could be
how
some
long it
snooping
is
around.
and everything. It would be interesting to know what kind of deals
Mm.
are being handed to East African acts, just to kind of gauge where the industry in general kind of how it values our artists and what we bring to the table. It'll just be interesting to kind of know a little bit of that side of things.
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree.
On that point, I for sure, like I wish I could do some snooping also to find around to ask around and find out like what kind of deal it is. But for sure, I think from the sort of the press releases in this, it seems like their main goal with Njerae and signing a lot of Kenyan acts, I guess, is to take Kenyan act like that. It seems like that's the main thing, is to take Kenyan act international. Kenyan acts, sorry, international. So that's how I guess we gauge if what they're doing with Njerae is working or not, since that seems like it's their main goal, is to see if they can push her to a more international stage. It would be cool to see. It would be cool to see how they navigate that.
I just want to hear a hit, like
that's what you're looking for. You just want to.
But listen, a hit fixes everything. A hit fixes everything. So you look at the trajectory that Tyler has had, and Tyler is affiliated with Sony, I believe. This is an opportunity that can put Njerae in that stratosphere if things are done right, So if they can get top tier production, I know Sammy Soso produces for Tyler and stuff like that, or whatever. Like, maybe we also have to kind of think about why things didn't pan out the way they did for
the other
Tyler, as with like Nikita or the other acts.
I'm sure there's a lot of different things involved that we don't know. We're just out speculating. We're peeping through the window. There's a lot going on in that house.
This is all speculation.
Yeah, it's all speculation.
This is all speculation. And by not working out, I mean just like the relationship between Nikita and UMG. Not I don't mean her career.
Oh, definitely not. She's still outside.
Yeah, I'm just talking about why things between the two didn't work out. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's exciting. It's exciting to see our acts get signed by the mainstream, music industry.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better than UMG. Literally, UMG has the biggest market share in the music industry. Yeah. So
I just hope, I hope that the deal is
onwards
good.
And upwards.
Onwards and upwards. Yeah, I hope that the deal is good. I hope it's beneficial for both parties, and I hope that she comes out on the positive side of it. So shout out to her, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations to her, man. And now she's label mates with Maven Records. So
you can see Njerae.
Listen, me, if I'm her, I'm like, bruh, okay, fine, maybe getting a collab from Rema or Ira Star might be a stretch, but
anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible, but I'm saying like as an entryway, bro, like Kina Crayon and all those guys who are at Mavens or shit like that, interlabel, whatever, dynamics, let's try and build. For me, if I was in the team, my thing with Njerae, actually this is a nice experiment. So I'm going to say what I would do, and then you're going to say what you would do if you were in the team, in Njerae's team right now, and you had the resources for Universal. So for me, what I would do first is better production. I'll get like a producer who's really fire, like see what we can do, lock in with Njerae, see if we can get like something popping like on her own, release that as a single, or release like 2 singles like off the back of that, or just do like a small 4-song EP for your head top. You know what I mean? boom. That's the first thing we do with Njerae. Focused solely on her. That's what I
Yeah.
would do. Focus solely on her. Now, that's brewing. Now, what do we do after that? For me, after that, it's collaborations. We need to make her seem like she's a big artist. So we start with collaborations within the industry, of course. We can't overlook the Kenyan industry. So we look around, see what we can do. Bam, boom, bam, done. Then, boom, we go into international. Now I'm saying let's leverage what we have in the UMG stratosphere. For me, I see so much opportunity. So there's obviously the artists they have that in SA in Nigeria. I'm trying to see if she can do something like that. Try and break into those
Yeah.
markets. And bro, listen, Maven's Records is literally in UMG. So
We
I'm
could start
saying if
a
these
UMG
smaller
UMG
acts,
Nigeria bromance going.
exactly. What better? Or put her on one of those. Well, I don't even know if they're still doing Amapiano in SA, but put her
a wild
together with
statement.
one of those dope producers who I'm sure they have, or one of the artists
Yeah,
that
for sure.
are signed to UMG SA. And bro, that's how it starts, man. Get that song, get that popping, boom.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Out of here.
to be honest, it's the same route that I would probably take. Is number one, first give her a few, either like you had talked about hits, but then get her into the room with people who can facilitate like a proper, because her songwriting is great and she does really well. So and her melodies and everything, like she's a very good artist, right? So she can do it. So just get her that production and that level where she can have like a hit, and then probably maybe do a remix with a Nigerian artist or South African artist, and then just she's probably going to need to gain some momentum in terms because in the state of the world she's still a relatively new artist, right? So she's going to need to get some momentum. So like more singles, and then afterwards just follow the formula. Like there's nothing new under the sun. All these formulas have been done before. Give us probably like an EP or a project, and then just lock in. Like this is probably the time to her output has to be really, like the quality has to be super, super high now, because it's more eyes than just the East African market on her now. So it's
for me, I'd say now is not the time for albums.
Yeah.
Me, I'm thinking short form content, like EPs, just the
Singles,
Maven Records, like imprint
for sure.
or blueprint, where they release like 4-song EPs. They've done that with all of them. Rema, Ira Star, they've done it with all of them. And make sure there's a hit. Just one of those songs has to be like a hit. You know what I mean? Videos, obviously. The budget is gone.
No, I'm saying, they legitimize her in different markets. I don't know if legitimize is
exactly,
but you know what I'm saying.
Accompanied with dope visuals, videos, that type of shit, man. Yo, she's gonna be out of here. So
yeah, man.
Super excited.
For sure.
Super excited.
For sure. Shout out to her.
Okay, so we briefly talked about Nikita Kering. So I guess we could just get into it here. So there's this interesting article I saw about her saying she isn't doing music for money. And I've seen an uptick of articles covering Nikita Kering ever since she released the single. And, obviously the collaboration or the remix with Lil Minor. What do you think? Okay, so I know the first reason why we are seeing all these articles is because it's PR, it's press for just getting her into conversation so that we are talking about her. Then we are like, oh, she's releasing new music. So it goes hand in hand.
Yep.
But what do you think about the whole angle of not doing music for money? Like, do you think that's something realistic in our industry?
Mm-hmm. Well, one can say there's not much money in the Kenyan music industry. So that's one way to go. But it's cool. Whenever an artist comes out talking about that they do it for the arts first, I'm always there for it, because I think that's authentic and it's pure. Of course, it's you also have to consider the money aspect, obviously, and I think she does for sure. But it's cool. I don't know what to say about this. It's just interesting. Like we said, it's probably placement for her, the single that she just released, and just trying to get more her name into people's, in front of more people. So that's cool. I'm all over the place, but then just going back, it seems like it seems like because she's pretty young. She's what, 22, I think, around there, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So she's definitely still in, like, she's young, and she's gotten like a lot of notoriety in the Kenyan industry, some notoriety in the Kenyan industry. So she's definitely still in that learning phase. So I expect it. I expect going through, artists usually go through periods like this where they start to solidify their values and the reasons they're doing music, and what they're going to allow and not allow in terms of their career and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see that. What the thought I'm having is, sometimes it might be difficult for an artist to be creating and then to also have to play into the celebrity culture that we currently have in our industry, and whether just thinking about whether that affects the output in terms of her
Yeah.
music. It might be a lot more difficult for her to focus on, to juggle being a star that she already is, and because she's been out for a long time, like since she was a teenager. So juggle her being a star and then also having to progress and make music. And I just feel like for an artist that might, if you don't have a really good team, that could weigh in on your just the way you move, and it could be a little bit heavy. But yeah, this is something that we see, just growing up as an artist and maturing and just solidifying yourself in
Yeah.
and figuring out, charting your own path. So this is cool. It's cool to see. Man, do it for the love. Do it for the love, not for the money. Do it a little bit for the money.
Do it for the love, man. Yeah. What else was happening in the news?
So it's just an interesting thing. There was a release of the most listened to, the most watched, the top Kenyan artists, in
Yeah.
and it's just interesting to know. Like, I always like keeping tabs with this kind of stuff, because it just shows what direction the industry is moving and who is, gaining and who is losing and all that stuff. It's just very fun. So we could go through a couple of them. Do we start? I guess we could start with the top artists, with the gauging monthly listeners.
On Spotify.
On Spotify.
Oh.
Yeah. So we could start. It's number one, obviously, is Sofian Zhao. She dropped a banger, 100 million plays plus. So that's crazy. And she's at 11 monthly listeners, which 11, not 11 monthly listeners, 11 million. My bad. I forgot some numbers there. And then number two will be Bien, coming at a, let me not say that. Bien with 800K, and then Bien again and his brothers South Soul with 500. So those are the.
How do you think that affects group dynamics for one artist to be bigger than the group?
It's part of it. It's part of it. Listen, in a group, people are going to go their different directions, and you really can't control who the fans gravitate to, right? So, and I think it's also how you move and the decisions you make in your career and the type of music you put out. It all plays into it. So it's not just one thing where they're like, oh, we like this guy, we pick him to be the token member of the group. No, it's a lot that goes into it. So I just think that he's done a lot of things and we've talked about him a lot, but he's done a lot of things to position himself where he's like really top in the industry. So, and outside of the industry, actually, it's he's doing great things. I saw him on an interview with it's this weird, really cool interview that this Nigeria guy, I think, Ebue or something, and he does this interview where it's like a whole roast. It's a Nigerian interview, and that whole thing is he's just literally roasting the guest the whole time. So he had Bien on there. And it was a very fun interview. I wish I knew the name of it. I'll plug it. Maybe I'll look that up as we continue. But yeah, so he was on there. He's definitely making waves in Africa now. So it's cool to see. Yeah, so that's the top artists. The three top artists. It's expected for sure. We need to see more names now.
So the next thing was the top most watched artists on YouTube Kenya. And bro, this list is just filled with bongo flavor, Afro beats, and Vibes Cartel and Chris Brown.
Vibes Cartel. Seeing Vibes Cartel name in the middle of that, Vibes Cartel and Chris Brown, they just stood out like a sore thumb. Like, what are these guys doing here? Like, what's I guess Chris Brown would be the most outstanding, because Vibes Cartel probably has his fan base is Kenyans love Vibes, man. Kenyans love They love them some vibes music. But Chris Brown, that's
Chris Brown, I don't know what Chris Brown is doing there.
sticking
In
out like a sore
Kenyans who
thumb.
are in the top 20,
Yeah.
Wadagli's at number 13. Obviously, we know the song Angukana is a hit.
Yeah.
And then Bien is at number
Smash.
18.
Expected? I
Wait,
thought he would be higher though.
I don't know, but wait, do you listen to Msanii Music Group? Is that a Kenyan thing? Because
I don't.
Yeah, I don't think so, because I've never heard of Msanii Music Group. It sounds like
Yeah,
it's
neither have
maybe
I.
like that's a TZ thing.
Tanzanian thing too.
Yeah. Oh my God. So there's only two things, and one of them is a novelty hit. So it's really just BN. Because, once that song does like declines a little bit, then it'll just kind of drop off. That's sad. But
It's
hey,
really
that's
sad
the
that our top
reality.
artists are not Kenyan. And it also plays because when you look at Spotify, when you look at the Spotify new music release, a lot of the songs that are featured on the top of featured in the Kenyan. I mean, they've been doing better. We talked about it last a couple of podcasts, some of the earlier podcasts where the top songs in the Kenyan artists, in the Kenyan Spotify playlist, sorry, are like Western songs from outside Kenya, and then there's a lot of bongo on there. So this makes sense when you look at that, but I think that has become a little bit better where they're now putting more Kenyan songs into that playlist, although it fluctuates, it's up and down. But yeah, man, it's really interesting. Fam, what do we do? What do we do to
And
make
then the
Kenyan
top
music?
most streamed artists on Boomplay, number 1 is J Melody. Number 2 is Diamond Platinums. Number 3, Vibes Cartel. Number 4, From the Hood Music. Number 5, Otile. And number 6 is Fina. So we just have Otile over there. So we are an industry or a market that really consumes a lot of music that's not from our own, which is interesting. Do you think more Kenyans should try to make more bongo flavor type songs, if that's clearly what the market seems to love consuming?
Well, are they going to like Kenyan bongo flavor songs, or do they like Tanzanian?
It's a worthy experiment to have.
Oh.
No, if you're
I guess
Anyway.
so. we have artists that are sort of in that sound. Otile sort of taps into that sound a little bit. I know.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's his other guy's name? Willie Paul does that sound.
Yeah.
A lot of other artists sort of tap into that, but it's weird. I don't know. We're in a weird place in the industry. It's just it's interesting. Hopefully it changes, I guess. I don't know what we need to do. Well, I know what we need to do. We just need to make Kenyan music more important to Kenyan people. So stream your favorite Kenya. Play KE.
There's so many Tanzanians in the... So we're reading this from NGC, and there's so many Tanzanians in the comments. I know Tanzanians, we have an interesting dynamic here with you guys. By here, I mean like the podcast. We had that one altercation we don't talk about. But they are very happy about this, man. Like, they're in the comments, like, going crazy. Oh, my God. I don't know why Tanzanians hate us so much. It's so crazy. I don't know.
Is it hate?
It's hate. They're so happy.
I think it's love.
So happy.
I think it's backwards love. It's a different love. Is what
Well,
it is.
they say hate and love they're not opposites, but rather than the same vein. I've completely messed that up. Yeah. Anyway, well, listen, if you're an artist seeing that, it's on you to change the narrative.
Yeah. Sorry, before we go, I had mentioned the interview that BN was on. It's by Isbeyu on YouTube, and the interview, his series is called Curiosity. Sorry, Curiosity Made Me Ask. It's a really interesting interview. BN got some good shots in there too. Like, he repped Kenya really well. So I don't know which side I was on. I think I was rooting for BN more. But it's cool. It's a very cool interview format, and just go support him over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Okay. Nice.
Let's do that.
So basically, what else happened so I wanted to just shout out to everybody who had a show this week. Looks like there were many shows. There was the Charisma experience. That seemed to go down very well. I saw so many videos, and then I saw a video of like I want to say it was like 10 or 15 women threw their bras on stage for him. That was interesting to see. The thing about charisma is he's a great performer. That's one thing you can never take away from charisma. Like
Yeah.
he excels at that. Like if we're talking about, if we had stats in music and one of them was your music production, the other one was your performance, another one was your whatever, he's really maxed out on the performance like attributes. Because bro, I've been to one of his shows and he really has that energy. I guess
Yeah.
that's why he's called charisma. So shout out to him. Shout out to him. There was also the Pizza and Wine festival that I saw happening. So it didn't get as much press as Charisma's. So maybe timing wise, maybe they, but you can never know about these things. Maybe it would have been nice for them to have done it like on a different weekend. But anyway, looks like it also was a success. So shout out to the artists who got a chance to perform in
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
events. All right. Shout out to everyone. The last thing I wanted to talk about is just something small. My friend Chevy Kev, he's an artist. He kind of put me onto this, and I just wanted to put it out here on the podcast in case anybody listening sees this and finds it interesting. So, one beat music have this initiative where they have an exchange program, and they have creatives kind of fly out to the US to kind of experience the culture, make music with artists and all that type of stuff. So just reading, it's One Beat is accepting applications for a month-long US-based music exchange scheduled for the spring of 2025, which will convene 25 musicians from up to 54 eligible countries and territories. One Beat fellows will spend approximately 1 month in an intensive residency, which offers a chance for artists to write, produce, and perform original music and develop strategies for arts-based community engagement. One Beat fellows then go on tour across a region of the US, performing for a wide array of American audiences, collaborating with local musicians, and leading workshops with youth and community organizations. During the month-long exchange, One Beat musicians develop projects for their home countries that embody the power of musical collaboration and civic engagement to address shared community challenges. So if this sounds like something that you guys would be interested to, or interested in, I would advise applying for it. The deadline is on September the 6th, so there's not so much time left, but it looks like it's beneficial, like networking, experiencing new cultures, working with new artists and all that type of stuff. I want to say Chevy Kev did not Chevy Kev, Mr. Lou did this a few years ago. If it was not last year, it was the year before. But this is something that's a super dope opportunity. So if you're interested, you should definitely apply, because you never know. This might be something that helps launch your career. New music, bro. What were you listening to?
Let's go. Otile Brown. We just mentioned Otile Brown with holding it down for Kenya. He released a song, and he actually releases pretty often. Actually, now that I think about it, like his name is constantly, well, not constant, but then it's on the New Music Friday a lot. So shout out to him for the consistency. He released a song called Ni Wowe. Butchering the pronunciations, but yeah. So if you're an Otile fan, go listen to that. We have Peleka Chini by Brida LW and Mandy with 2 A's. That's another song for there. We have Trio Mio. Trio Mio collaborated with a Nigerian artist, I think, called Nangi, I think. The song is 200 mph, 200 miles per hour. That was interesting. That was an interesting song. That was an interesting song. It was interesting seeing Chiomio tap into sort of that sound because we are used to seeing him on a very more East African sound. So that was pretty interesting seeing how that. I like to see more of that too, of artists branching out of their comfort zones and doing something different. We see Nikita Caring. Last week she dropped Tonight. This week she drops Tonight, the remix with Lil Minor. Lil Minor was teased in the previous song, so that was interesting. Yeah, that was an interesting drop. It's I was thinking about the strategy of dropping the two songs weeks apart, and if it was up to me, maybe they would have just focused their attention on this main song. But I cannot tell the team what to do. I guess they know what's best for them. So shout out to them. The song, I do like this version of the song more. Let me put it that way. I think it flows better. I think Lil Minor's additions to it just made it a little bit more. It gave it a bit more life, sort of. So I definitely do enjoy that. Brooklyn Boys again, 2 weeks in a row with Chocolate Brown. I released some music, which was cool. With Stacey Kamatu. Did a remix to her song "Buy Me Love." We had talked about that when it came out. So yeah, that was very cool,
why
very
you
chill.
downplaying it, man?
Very
Yo,
soulful.
Sam, Are, bro, you released "Buy Me Love."
Yeah,
the remix.
"Buy Me Love."
Buy
the remix. So
Me
cool.
Love. How does it feel,
Take
bro?
me
How
to
does it feel,
places.
man?
It's cool. I mean, I've been saying I'll release music for the past 20 years. And I finally got around to doing it. So that's cool. Shout out to Stacey for giving me the opportunity to remix her song. I told the story like when I heard the song, I barely even finished listening to it. I just downloaded it and AI'd it and like started working on the remix, and she sent it to her and she really liked it, and we're like, let's put it out.
And
so
shout out to
that's very
you
cool.
for having the foresight and seeing that
foresight.
there's an opportunity here to do a remix.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think this is a me thing. I think there's an opportunity to give Kenyan songs because it's a house remix, right? Like it's a very standard house remix, not necessarily Amapiano or Afro house, but just like a standard house song. I think there's an opportunity to expose the Kenyan scene in that way, where you like give songs that different sounds, songs that we know and we love, like different sounds, and just expose it. I mean, present it to like new markets. So that was kind of the idea behind doing this one, and I just hope to do a lot more of that. So that was cool. What else dropped? K-Rob. I'm so sorry. K-Rob, Andia, and Misumena. I think Misumena is the remix. No Time for This. I actually enjoyed this one. It was pretty cool. I liked what the remixer did to it. I'm always ready for a remix. Let me see. Is there anything else? Of course, I'll say this and then I guess I'll pass it over to you. These guys at Umoja Sounds just will not take their foot off the gas with this Moro buzz. I don't know whether this is compounding into like a project, a 500 song project or whatever, but they released a song called Kila Kala, Frederick Muller, Umoja Sounds. I mean, they just keep going. They keep going and they keep going. So shout out to them. What's on your radar?
Yeah, so I didn't listen to there wasn't so much that came out this week.
Yeah.
I mean, there was Seb's Funk by Kili Hippie and Boy Black. Shout out to them. They've been releasing super consistently. I guess there was also, I only listened to other like Medulla by Soundcraft, Lil Minor and Mr. Berry. That was also dope. I guess aside of the songs that you've said, those are the only songs I really listened to. The song, though, that I was really drawn to that came out was Kameshika Signal by Chris Kaiga and Cedo, man. I really like the production on that. The bass is everything there. Like, I love that sound. Very catchy. Whenever Chris Kaiga comes out of the woodworks, wherever it is he goes, he usually releases some fire. I think the last song he released was the one with Daisy and Dede. So it's nice to see him here again, releasing music. Chris Kaiga is so beloved, man. Whenever he releases, everybody gets in their nostalgia bag. So, for me, that's just the song that like I fucked with the most.
Cool, man. So let's do that. Let's play for the people. Here is Chris Kaiga, produced by Cedo. The song is Kameshika Signal.
Kameshika Ati itisha tumbler, teja shika signal. Acha shike labda isikie kwa kisigino. Matap-tap zinafanya wanatipito. Mabambam zinapandisha malibido. Anda substance na maji minimo. Nasikia utamu kama Bobby Cash na VBO. Piga shot kama Kamradi maini pose. Nasikia raha ndani ya roho na my knees and toes. Kameshika sigino. 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 Leo naita meeting kwa club, si ofisi. Happy hour na HR, team building. Kando ya bigi tuna puff, no didi. Accountant wa makwang, mbele mbele. Vibe CEO konyagi na ma single tones. Ni white indie zone kisiagi wa ma digital. High kuliko rubani ako Wilson. Fry jutu kwa maftani kama bidiko. Kameshika sigino. 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 DB wa kwa club bila pirito. Pimi wa kwa jaka upigi shot. Tingisha madam kamepigwa shock. Hii ni sitima baba tafuta sigino. Rada ni sahi sema vacation ni highlight. Prime time nawa Rainbow at 9 live. Under my black light VIP tuki hide white. Na mamgalo anachana jaba na white wine. Kameshika sigino. 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 Kameshika sigino.
Yeah, that's Chris Kaiga, Cedo, Kameshika Signal. It's very interesting. It's it's almost what you expect from him. Like I like Chris Kaiga. It's a very fun. He's a very fun listen. He's the way he writes is interesting. I think the way he writes for the Kenyan people in terms of like it's almost like party music. It's like what you want to hear from someone when you're like just having fun and chilling on a Friday evening with your friends. One thing I didn't like about the release, it's just me. It's just a me thing, but it's the AI art. Whenever I see AI art, I don't know why. It's just,
yeah. AI art never hits the spot. I really don't like any AI work, man.
Yeah, I feel like,
but that's a good thing.
I feel like we have access to good artists.
I'm saying it's a good thing that we see AI art and we're like, it's not for me, because like it kind of gives me hope that there's still value in getting human beings to do certain tasks.
Yeah, there is for sure. But yeah, man, that's episode 92.
Yes, sir, man. That's episode 92. As always, thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. Honestly, we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. Bro, 90 episodes, 92 episodes down the can, man. It's crazy. It's always crazy to me. It's never gonna feel any less crazier. So always thank you. And like I like saying at the end of the podcast, focus on the 3 C's, especially if you're a creative. These are kind of things that help with your career. Ooh, career is also a C. So anyway, confidence. Always be confident in your art, because that's what people gravitate to. Confidence. If you're confident, if you're projecting that your music is the shit, or whatever it is you're creating is the shit, people are gonna buy into that. Always be consistent. Certain names we always mention when we talk about new music: Otile Brown, Umoja Sounds, Sophia Nzao, Nesmburu, all these people, they're always in the headlines because they're releasing music at a consistent rate. And lastly, craft. Always work on your craft every day. Do something small that helps progress what it is you're working on. Always be open to learning new things, even small things. Even if it's like shortcuts, you can spend an afternoon learning shortcuts that work in Ableton or FL Studio, or whatever it is you use to make music. And that might help your workflow at some point, or it might help you solve an issue during a studio session. And everyone will be like, yo, how did you know that? You know what I mean? So, anyway, small things like that always contribute to the art. Yeah, that's all for me, man. Sam?
I've got nothing for you.
All right.
Wrap it
Well, with those few words, we'll catch you guys on the very awkward episode 93. 93 is such an awkward number, but like, yeah, we'll catch you guys.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Bye.